Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio.
And, Anney, the world is bleak. And honestly, I'm not doing too well, especially with all the dark news I feel like I'm consuming.
Yes.
So, for this Monday Mini, we're going to take a break with some insightful looks at why pets are wonderful for these dark times. Annie, we're going to steal you that cat.
There is a neighborhood cat, listeners, that I adore. She is so sweet. And if I could, I would. I love her.
Yeah, actually, I came upon her as I was coming to your house, to your apartment, to bring you something. And she was so sweet, rubbing up on me. I almost took her and brought her to you. Because I was like, she needs this cat.
I love her.
But then,
I'm debating her name. And I'm like, if I name her, then it's going to go out the window. I don't know what I'll do. She
looks like a Princess Leia.
She's got a sassy vibe. I could see that working.
Yeah. When I saw her, I immediately was like, Joe, I think I need to steal this cat. But then she's so healthy and happy that I'm like, I feel like she belongs to somebody. So
I think she
I don't want to catnap cat for you.
Yeah. We don't need that.
I might get you a cat, though. But with that, so as you all know, Peaches Gertrude McFuzzin is one of the loves of my life. And though I may say she's a dick, because she can be, and my anxiety may have made her this way, pets seem to imitate their owner's personality, again, so they say. But with all of that, she has made my life better. More expensive, but better. And of course, we know this is scientific. And, we're going to look at some findings. So, in an article in newsinhealth.nih.gov, yes, NIH, titled The Power of Pets, they say this: research on human-animal interaction is still relatively new. And by the way, this is a 2018 article, so it's been 7 years, but, kind of close. Some studies have shown positive health effects, but the results have been mixed. Interacting with animals has been shown to decrease levels of cortisol, a stress-related hormone, and lower blood pressure. Other studies have found that animals can reduce loneliness, increase feelings of social support, and boost your mood. So if I was one of the people that I talked to, I would absolutely agree about the loneliness, increasing feelings of social support, and boosting your mood. Because sometimes just being able to hug my dog makes me feel better. She doesn't understand it, and she probably doesn't love it. She does that for me. In fact, they were so intrigued by the benefits of pets and animals. They were currently at that time looking at how kids with autism, ADHD, and other diagnoses could benefit from animal interactions. Of course, we know that service animals have had a giant impact on people with different types of health diagnoses, ranging from anxiety, bipolar, to diabetes, schizophrenia. So it's no surprise that there could also be health benefits in having pets. Here's some more from that NIH article. They write, dogs are very present. If someone is struggling with something, they know how to sit there and be loving. I'm not doing well with Peaches. I need to figure that one out. Anyway, and this was Dr. Ann Berger, a physician and researcher at the NIH Clinical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. She goes on to say, their attention is focused on the person all the time. Berger works with people who have cancer and terminal illness. She teaches them about mindfulness to help decrease stress and manage pain. So she specifically uses them for that. But there was a back and forth again about this because they were worried about germs, especially like with cancer patients. And so making sure that they are relatively clean. I don't know how else to say that, germ-free, because a dog is more likely to pick up and bring in germs than other humans. So that was kind of a concern. I think that the whole kind of conversation has happened, but they also, again, talk about how this is still beneficial for a lot of patients. I want to hug a dog. Moving on. There's another article, Telltale TELLTAIL vet.com that gives a list on how pets can have helpful benefits for mental health. And it includes some of the things like reducing stress and anxiety, as we mentioned, providing companionship and reducing loneliness. Yes, I do talk to Peaches a lot, especially by myself, to the point that when my partner moved in, he would often think I was talking to him, and I had to clarify, it's not for you. Stop listening. I'm talking to Peaches.
This is between me and Peaches.
This is between me and Peaches. But Anney, you adapted to that very quickly because you talk to Peaches a lot, even with me and my partner present. And you don't even own a dog.
Well, Peaches and I are the same person.
You are. You are essentially the same creature. And then they say also it's improving mood and boosting emotional resilience. So a 2025 report talks about the fact that a dog or a cat can help your well-being just as much as being married or having friends. Or so the CNN article says. So here's a quote. They write, the study, which was published on March 31st, again in March 2025, in the journal Social Indicators Research concludes that having an animal companionship is worth up to 70,000 pounds or $90,000 a year in life satisfaction, a metric economists use to quantify the, quote, implicit price of otherwise intangible things. I found that fascinating. They go on to give you a little more scientific understanding of how they got this number and what this is. And of course, like the variables in there, as well as possibly conflicting ideas. Not a lot. But I was like, wait, what? Maybe she's not as expensive as I thought. If she's making, $90,000 or giving me back $90,000 worth of intangible things. Of course, again, both the article and the study warns about the ideas of equating pets to humans on a literal basis, saying that yes, our connections to animals are powerful, but they are not the same as humans. Whatever, because my dog is better than a lot of people, and though it does cause me less stress than so many people in my life. Not you, Anney.
Because Peaches and I are the same.
Because y'all are one, essentially. Yes. If there's such thing as a soul dog, it's yours? Weirdly?
Yeah.
You have the same personality? I'm pretty sure my personality is that of a cat. Although Peaches sometimes reminds me of a cat. Because she's like, no, don't touch me. No, don't look at me. No, don't come near me. Oh, you want me to come sit next to you? No, thank you.
Friend of the show, friend in real life, Lauren, when I was dog sitting and I was trying to record and Peaches was being a little extra, Lauren said Peaches is the most calico dog I've ever seen. So I think you're onto something. I think
she's not wrong. Of course, we wanted to break down the women factor to this, if there is any. And here's an article that comes from themyths.com titled, Can Dogs and Cats Help Women Live Longer, Healthier Lives? Well, yes. But it's kind of the same as the telltalevet.com article. The benefits are similar. But there is an added plus that they tagged on that I was like, yeah, okay. In which they say, under the emotional connection, they talk about the many complicated parts of a woman's lives and stages and how pets can give some more stability and grounding in those, what they would call milestones, like perimenopause, menopause, having a period, all those different things. And I'm like, you know what? That's actually true. That may be a little more beneficial in that level. Now, POTS is a fairly new, or I guess more recently talked about diagnosis and condition, and not very well studied from what I gather. And I have seen many women, so because I don't know, I've not seen many men talk about this or I've been diagnosed with this, and I could be wrong. But they do have service dogs to help sense when they're about to pass out. And they know that, so they'll come and tap them. So that makes sense to me. That I'm like, okay, these different types of milestones that's based on hormones and periods and like uterine complications could be a stress relief. So I was like, okay, that's an interesting take. But also, I know Kristen and Caroline had this conversation a while ago about pets becoming children. the substitute children for many women. And I did want to talk about that. So an article from Psychology Today, which was written in 2021. So after their episode, but not so recent, so about 4 years ago, they have some thoughts. So here's an interesting quote from them. In this survey, 70%, so they did talk about a specific survey in the article, 70% of the women who have chosen not to have children view their dog or cat as their child. However, the door still seems to be open toward eventually having children, since 66% view caring for their pet as a practice for one day having a child if they were ever to change their mind. So 72% explicitly state that they prefer the company of their pet over the company of children. 69% say that having a pet is easier than having a child, which I would agree with. So I think this is interesting in that conversation because, again, a lot of people are like, yeah, but this is not the same, all these. And then TikTok trends of like, if you're saying, you don't think I birthed this, and then they'll show the picture of the pet, and then they'll also have a like photoshopped copy of them in the uterus.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's quite funny. But just them really talking about the fact that this was their first child. I know many people who have pets and then have children talk about this is their brother. This is their first child. This is this. And I've even seen like older generations who like get dogs after their children move talking about this is your brother. This is your new brother. And the children, human children being like, they love the dog more than me. Stuff like that. So I do find that interesting in that conversation once again, and whether or not this is a practice or whether this is their choice. And more people are talking about the fact that they don't want children. A new article just came out about, like, I think it's in 2030, that women from 25 to 44 would not be married and not have children. There's going to be a record number of women who would be single and childless. I'm like, yeah, whose fault is that? Anyway, moving on. Yes. And then, of course, there was this one article that I have to shout out that I thought was hysterical and also very relatable. Emily Beddington in The Guardian, shout out to that, wrote this article titled, "Why Do So Many Women Spend More Time with Pets Than People?" And she starts the article with this, quote, "The average woman with a pet now spends more time actively engaged with her pet than she spends hanging out face-to-face with fellow humans on any given day." I read in The Atlantic. It was a dissection of the, quote, crisis in social fitness, alternatively known as why we're all destined to die alone, our faces eaten by the very pet whose company we have chosen above our own kind. Am I, a pet owner, or my pet-owning friends of all genders, surprised? Of course not. And y'all, this article is too good not to add a little more bits to it, including, she writes, "Pet hangouts are blissfully free from social awkwardness, aggravation, and anxiety. You will never engage in an agonizingly polite dance with your pet over who should eat the last morsel on a sharing plate. Your pet doesn't have a partner you can't stand. And if they did, you wouldn't have to be polite to or about them. If you hang out at home, your pet doesn't care if you watch Project Runway repeats, Star Wars repeats, or instead of a subtitle drama, or reveal you don't understand inflation." Yeah, agreed. And she goes on to say this last part, which, by the way, is hysterical. It says, because I think you and I've said this many times, but also to end, yes, your companion might eat your face one day, but why would you care? You'll be dead, and it's a small price to pay for all that blissfully accepting hang time. Being understood is overrated. Being treated as a snack dispenser in life and potentially also death is the way forward. I am a snack dispenser. She only cares about me when she thinks it's time for me to hide a greenie.
Yes, and then if you don't do it, she
mad.
hides behind me and looks at you passive aggressively. And I love it because I'm suddenly the favorite person.
She does. She gets mad. If I don't give it to her, or she doesn't, because she was sick the other day and I couldn't, she goes to bed. She puts herself to bed.
She sulks.
It's quite funny. But I thought this was interesting. And if you don't have a pet, that's okay. If you have inanimate objects like a bee as your pet, that's okay. Am I still going to find you a kitten? Yes, Annie, I am.
Okay.
If you want to have a snake as a pet, go ahead, Katie. I'm not coming to your house, though.
Yeah, I haven't told Katie. My good friend, Katie, has a snake and a bunch of mice, and I told Samantha and her partner about it, And I haven't told her about your reaction and
I had a
determination not to go to her
because it also escapes. It escapes people.
The snake escapes. Yeah.
It escapes. You can have it and love it all you want, and I'm proud of you, and I'm so glad you take care of that thing, but I don't want it.
She sent me an update about it today. I'll send it to you.
The amount of screams that would happen if it touched me. Anyway, all that to say is, yes, your pets can help do all of these things. There are benefits to that during these times. It's awful, we know. And it's sometimes nice to have a dog that actually is judgmental. She does judge me. She judges me a lot, actually, and sighs at me quite often in frustration and irritants. But I enjoy that because in the end, I can still cuddle her.
Yeah. She's going back to my friend Katie, she also helps dog sit sometimes. Yes. And she once told me Peaches is the kind of weird that I really love. She has a personality.
Wait, what does that say about me? Oh, God. Anyway.
Don't read too much into it. It was a compliment, I suspect.
I'm going to take it.
You should.
I'm going to steal you a cat.
All right. Well, listeners, we always love hearing about your pets. Pictures of pets appreciated. Please let us know. Send them our way. You can email us at hello@stuffInevertoldyou.com. You can find us on Blue Sky at Mom Stuff Podcast or on Instagram and TikTok at Stuff I've Never Told You. We're also on YouTube and we have a book you can get wherever you get your books. Thanks as always to our super producer, Christina, our executive producer, Maya, and our contributor, Joey.
Oh, yeah. Christina has a wonderful cat.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. We've seen pictures.
We have indeed. And thanks to you for listening. Stuff I Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.